This is what I was talking about before. So I made work-life balance work for me because that falls back into the discussion we had about, did I think kids changed the direction
of your career?
And in this aspect, it did in that way because I did just enough to make sure I had a roof over our head, but I never missed a practice. I never missed a game. And that was something that was important to me. So I guess in that aspect, I made sure that work-life balance was incorporated some way in my life because I needed to be there for them.
And to some people, I don't know if they ever get that level of comfort in making some decisions like that. I won't say it's for all, because there probably are some people out there who are just like you as well. Because here's my thing. I tell my kids today, if I had an option, I definitely probably would have chosen a different career path. Because not to say that I don't like where I work and I'm not happy in my job, but I think there's something that's very important to work the job that makes you happy despite the money.
Welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Aunties. Cheers, ladies.
And we're in it.
Yes.
Good. That's a topic that's probably been talked about on the many platforms, or by other many hosts, podcasts, whatever, but not on ours. So we're going to talk about it today. Work-life balance. What is that? Is it real? Can it be obtained? Have you figured it out? Tried it? Worked it more? What is work-life balance to you? And do you think it's a real thing? Let's start with that.
Are we talking in terms of your own business or the workforce?
Whatever you got going on.
I would say I've been hybrid for, I want to say close to 18 years, and I'd rather keep it that way. And I've gotten quite comfortable working from home. My office is set up to accommodate that. So I feel like I'm more productive when I'm home versus in the office.
So you would say that assists with work-life balance?
Yes, it does assist.
I would say that, I guess for me, I personally don't think it's something that is like false, because there's no real, I don't think you can really achieve balance with it.
In life in general, or
there's just the whole work-life balance thing. Because I say that the caveat to that is your desires.
Right.
Okay.
That's a big driving point, because if you are ambitious and you have big desires to accomplish things professionally and still want a family, that is a very hard thing to achieve, where you will not feel any elements of guilt.
Right.
Okay. So I think that in that sense, that's what I mean by it's false. It's like you can't really achieve both, in my opinion. You can't be,
it's challenging.
The freaking CFO, CEO, whatever in the C-suite and
forever, right? So
no, that's what I'm saying. It ebbs and flows,
right.
And that, but so it ebbs and flows in that there will be times when you are gonna be focused on work.
Okay.
And it's not that you're not focused on the kids, but you definitely focused on work. But then you're going to have that element of guilt.
Right.
Because maybe you missed a game. Maybe you missed a recital. Maybe you were late to a recital. Maybe
100% to a project at work, you didn't bring your A game.
Oh, that too. So that's when you flip it on that side, because you're focused on your family, that you didn't bring your A game. Right. So now you're like, damn, I know I ain't gonna get that promotion, or it's messing your head. It's messing with you.
Yeah, because you get 110%.
Yeah,
3 quarters coming, 4th quarter. That's like a lot of family stuff happened this per se.
Yeah,
and you're not giving your full self. So even though you gave those 3 quarters, 110, 50% or whatever, you're going to think about that one time.
Yeah. It's going to be in your brain.
You didn't bring your A game because you had to focus on something. It's just a natural way of being, especially if you're very driven in both work and family life, right? So you're trying to have a successful career, but you're also trying to have a successful family.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is very challenging because you're always thinking about something falls to the wayside. It has to.
Yeah.
There's only 24 hours in a day. I'm not going to say, there's 24 hours in a day. You can plan out your day where you can get accomplished everything at every hour of the day. Some of it is true, but you can't accomplish, like when you have a to-do list yay long or whatever, something's going to happen today, tomorrow, the day after that. So that contributes to a part of trying to establish work-life balance, but it's always going to be something that should have gotten done that day.
Yeah.
Be working with children that had to either be delegated to somebody else or it just didn't get done.
This is what I was talking about before. So I made work-life balance work for me because that falls back into the discussion we had about, did I think kids changed the direction
of your career?
And in this aspect, it did in that way because I did just enough to make sure I had a roof over our head, but I never missed a practice. I never missed a game. And that was something that was important to me. So I guess in that aspect, I made sure that work-life balance was incorporated some way in my life because I needed to be there for them.
Yeah.
But I sacrificed. You sacrificed your
being in
your career.
Yes.
Yeah. So that goes. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, yes, there's a balance, but it's never equal because you can't. What I'm trying to say is you can't expect to be like in a C-suite and it can't be 50-50 where you're going to be up here and still you'll have a successful family, but name me any CEO or CFO or someone in a C-suite or you don't even have to be. You could just be in a VP. You could just be very prominent within your level of your career. And they have kids, and them kids don't have one memory of something being missed.
Yeah.
I get, name me somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to have something. So it's never going to be 50-50. You're always going to have some sort of sacrifice.
And that's
but that also depends on the person, too.
That's from a single household.
That also depends on the person, too. I mean, I think I may not have gone in the direction that I truly wanted to go, but I was satisfied and content with the career that I have now. I mean, I may not be the CFO anywhere, but I'm still happy in the position that I'm in.
And I think while I feel like it is challenging, depends on what your aspirations and goals are. And those things also shift, right? So like you said, you had done certain things differently, things would have turned out possibly this way for you. But you found the balance and you found the happiness of the decision that you made.
Yes.
To say, okay, I'm going to work at this level, and I'm gonna be okay with that. I'm happy where I'm at right now because it's allowing me to give my kids and my family time if they need. And to some people, I don't know if they ever get that level of comfort in making some decisions like that. I won't say it's for all, because there probably got some people out there who are just like you as well. Because here's my thing: I tell my kids today, if I had an option, I definitely probably would have chosen a different career path because, not to say that I don't like where I work and I'm not happy at my job, but I think there's something that's very important to work the job that makes you happy despite the money.
Okay.
Because you can be successful and you can be financially successful because those things come in many different ways. Don't have to come from that form of employment.
Right, right.
So in terms of the work-life balance situation, what resources, because when you think about back then versus now, they had the milk delivery man. They had the ice delivery man.
Yeah, she went back.
You took it back to the fucking 40s and 50s. Exactly. Bitch, I didn't exist.
I'm just saying.
But back then, the women didn't work. Let's just keep it a buck.
I understand that. No, I understand that they didn't work. But I'm saying to you now that there's still some women who still are stay-at-home moms.
Right.
But and they're leveraging a lot of the things that two working parent households or a single working parent household leverage today, delivery services, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
There are things now that we can schedule that'll save us 15 minutes, 20 minutes out, 30 minutes or whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm all for that.
Drop off laundry services. They ain't drop off no laundry back then. You wash clothes and iron everything back then. You have food delivery, you have grocery delivery. I mean, so what resources are you using to save time in your day to try and get towards a better quality of work-life balance?
That's a great question. So I definitely leverage like the resources of delivery, right? Anything that I can outsource. So for years, my husband fought me on cleaning, so because his thing was like, we got enough kids in the house, everybody pitch in. But I also think that's also a certain way he was brought up. So that plays into his ability to want to pay for a certain service. But any food delivery, anything that's going to give me back my time, I am for that. Because I got to allocate my time to other shit, you know. And then when my kids were younger, like they had different extracurricular activities I had to be chauffeuring them around to. I don't got time for this, you know. So if something could be delivered, something could be done, and I have the means to, even though it's coming out of my pocket, and I got to pay for it, I'm going to pay for that. Because it's just a convenience. And honestly, till this day, I still do that.
It's almost a necessity now at this point.
I mean, if you, for sure. Like but years ago when I didn't have the means to pay for it, I was doing it. But I guess having done it myself, I know the value of the time it's given back to me. So I'm like, shit, I'm going to outsource that bitch. And we're going to be good with it. So that's one thing. I'm also, I guess, to get me, but this is more of a mental capacity thing, right? Trying to do more self-care so that I could be better, both in professionally and, you know, personally. Okay. So I think that's something that I try to really bake into things that I do. So I guess those are two that are off the top of my head. What about you?
I'm happy to bring.
You gotta speak up. You don't know what the fuck you just said.
You're trying to get through the question. What resources do you use to give you back some time?
I really don't need resources right now because my kids are all grown. So my work-life balance is now.
Back then, when they were younger, that's what we were talking about.
Back then, we didn't have those.
It was the extracurricular activities, and I played team mom. So I was always the one shuffling kids around, picking them up, bringing them to practice, bringing them home. That was something that was important to me, to make sure that I was never late and I was always there. So I didn't really use the resource because I was the resource. So
yeah, I get that. My kids are grown too, but I'm going to tell you, I take advantage of some of these options. Like, if I know I got to go grocery shopping and don't even feel like spending time walking through the store, I will go online and I will order those groceries and I will maybe pick them up on my way home or we'll have them delivered depending on how the day goes and the time I get the order and all those logistical things. But yeah, I definitely take advantage of some of these services that I could probably would not have taken advantage of had they been available back then. One, again, finances probably was something different for me than they are now. But I'm trying to buy back some time, because with buying back some time gives you time to do the things that you need to do.
Yeah.
Go back to taking care of your mental health, and that self-care. Because you think about it, yes, you put yourself in a position to be very available for your children and for work, as we all did. But trying to find that, because like 5 minutes in the bathtub ain't doing it all the time.
Cal gonna take me away. It's done.
Me away.
Yeah,
I wasn't doing it because somebody knocking at the door all the time.
Yeah. I remember those days.
Nice little
Nothing.
Nothing's like doors something. So I'm trying to appreciate taking care of me now that I have the ability to do so. So I try to save time so I can allow time for self-care, because we're still busy people between work, family, friends, and running businesses and all that kind of stuff. We're still very busy. So that is leveraging. I'm a fan of leveraging those resources.
Yeah, I guess I could agree with you on the delivery. I will use Instacart in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, when you go to the store and get something and you forgot something, you going back to that store.
No,
you try to get that barbecue popping. Bring that ketchup.
I don't get to use it all the time because now that I have a dog, that's my time to sometimes take her out so she can get the exercise versus being cooped up in the house all day.
Yeah.
So I do utilize it when I really don't feel like going.
Absolutely.
But ain't nobody got time to be paying $20 extra in fees between the fee that they charge, the tip.
I know.
Because you got to give anywhere from 10 to 15% tip to them, because I know they're not really making no money off of it. So you got to consider, depending on how much
you got to consider what the convenience, how much is that worth to you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's worth that extra 20 bucks on top of you paying, then you're going to spend that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you kind of weighing out the options, like what's it worth? And in the grand scheme of things, that's the same thing applies to work-life balance. What's it, depending on which way you go, and whatever you decide to do, what's that risk that you're taking? What is it worth to you?
Yeah.
It's the same thing applies.
$20, man. I could have saved that. I took my butt to the store myself, but hey, convenience. And time.
You heard about the story with Dell, how many employees they told them that they had to come back into the office so they wouldn't be eligible for a promotion, and they all said pretty much F you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay at home.
That's what's worth. It's worth more to them.
A lot of people found that in the pandemic, that because granted, a lot of these companies, I get the face-to-face thing, right? You need to have some type of camaraderie with your coworkers and stuff like that. And Zoom is not always good. You can't get all the social cues that you would get in person. I get it.
Okay.
There's an element to mental health. So people having to go back into the office who are thriving while working from home, I think companies really need to take a closer look at that. Like,
exactly.
What was the loss here? This person excelled at every project, came with every project they had because they didn't have that travel time.
Yep.
Forget about the expensive sometimes having to eat out while you're working on those things. So a lot of those things played a big, like, my electricity bill may have gone up, but hey, I'm still not traveling anymore and I'm not eating lunch out anymore. So it kind of works itself out. So let's talk about when it came down to, we all have kids. When they were younger, when it was time to give them things to do, those are also things to kind of try and help get some time back. Listen, I'm not cleaning that back. You clean that back. When you wash it, was it hard to ask for that type? Was it hard to implement those things? Because I know it got implemented on us. I feel like probably started a little bit. I started with my kids a little bit later. I didn't make them do the same chores that I did at the same age that.
No, because I got kids. I got how many bodies in the house? Yeah.
Well, but I think you're saying two different things. You're saying yes, do it. You're saying no, you didn't do it.
Not the same age that I had to do it. Because I felt like, well, at the time I had a partner, so I had, me and his father was together at the time.
Okay.
So I felt like I had the help that I needed. Where my mom's a single mom, so we were the help. Like she had to go work and things still had to get done for the house. So I probably didn't want to have them feel probably some way that I felt as a
right. That's what I was getting at.
Right?
Yeah.
So I felt like some of those things needed to be done when they got older. And my mom taught me how to do these things, but that's the other thing. I didn't have time to teach them, so I didn't know how to do it because as I need to get this done. Do I have the time to teach them, or is it just do it myself? Sometimes it was quicker. I probably really didn't have the time to do it myself. It was just quicker than trying to teach them how to do it. So it's probably a combination of those things, but definitely wanted them to probably be kids a little bit longer, I guess.
And see, I was different. I had 2 boys. I didn't want them to be self-sufficient to no girl or to anybody that they were dating.
You wanted them to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, so they didn't have to depend on anybody. So they all learned how to cook at an early age, and they all cook extremely well.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter really took off with it, but I made sure they knew how to clean. All the things that they needed to do so they wouldn't have to depend on anybody, they are able to do, and I taught that early. I didn't realize how much they were really paying attention to me in the kitchen, but they were paying attention.
Yeah, I say, once they 3, you gotta fucking throw them to the wolves.
That's like,
yeah.
Well,
you gotta let them. You gotta let. I was sweeping floor. We have a cleanup song. Clean up,
exactly.
Everybody, everywhere. You can fucking do your damn shit. You don't have goddamn Hot Wheel cars on the fucking floor.
They loved herself some Barney. What?
No, we clean them up over here.
The earlier version of gentle parenting.
Yeah, I guess so. Exactly.
Talk about. You see, you
exactly.
See, so you exhibited, and why you trying to make? I ain't a harsh bitch. I'm just trying to teach you. I feel it.
Take it with your chest. Yes, you are.
No, I just believe you got to teach these damn kids. So they were happy to do it.
Yes.
Because I made it fun. I clean up. We sing a song and all types of shit. No, for real. No, on a serious note.
Yeah.
I might have did it too much because when Richie, Richie was the one with all the stories. When he was 3 years old and he came out of the room. I done told him and Bree to go to the room. He came out. He was like, when I grow up, I'm going to make a robot. And that's some random shit. I'm like, why are you telling me you're going to make a robot? So he can clean my room. I was like, perhaps. But you got to teach these kids, but.
Listen, I get it.
Teach them.
You get it. But, okay, so beyond asking for help inside the home, what about asking for help outside the home? But that also, you have the right people, the right circle around you. You need to lean on somebody sometimes because you just can't. For instance, I never forget things got mixed up between me and the kid's father at one time of getting the kids picked up. And I had a friend at the time who her child went to the same school. I am in panic, about to lose my shit, into a car crash on a
because you're trying to get there.
I'm trying to get to my kids because communication, something got messed up. I had to reach out to this person and ask them to pick up. Thank God they was available because I couldn't imagine. So like it didn't necessarily save me time. It saved me from losing my shit, basically.
But
it could have been. It could have been in a situation where it wasn't necessarily an emergency situation. I'm just asking somebody to help me out because I need to do something else on my behalf.
I never really had that option. I never used to ask my parents to babysit. Pretty much everywhere I went, they went. My father, up until he passed, if he would call and say, get the kids ready, I'll take them for a couple of weeks. You didn't have to ask me twice.
That was my mom.
Matter of fact, you ain't got to come get them. I'm bringing them to you. Exactly. There was a skit I saw where a husband was in the bathroom shaving. His mom called and said, you know what? I'm off this weekend. If you want, I'll come take the kids. He walked out the house with the towel wrapped around him with a shower cap on, still had shaving cream on his face, threw the kids in the car and dropped them off and handed them to the mom like this to run back to the car with his flip-flops on. Thought that was exactly. I thought that was the funniest thing I ever saw.
You appreciate those little times you get to, even if you just do
nothing.
Yeah.
But it's few far and in between. And then up until I moved back home when I went back to college, I never really asked my mom like that. If she wanted them, she would call and say, you can bring them over.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I kept them with me all the time. And I didn't have too many other people that I can reach out to.
But let me tell you, man, my mama called. No problem. You ain't got to ask me twice. To get me. They didn't come. Like you said, they didn't come too often. And when they did, it's like at the end of the day, you probably didn't realize how much you needed it until you got it because you just on the go
grind,
go.
And plus, I set it up where there was extracurricular activities or they were always in after school. Harlem was a little different when I lived there because they really had programs and stuff that you can take the kids to try and extend the workday so you would never have to.
Yeah, it's like a lot of schools back.
Yeah, and they don't offer that now. You got to pay
arm and a leg.
What?
Yeah, because those things helped out too.
Yeah,
so. Everything that my kids did. I guess maybe where we lived in the Bronx, everything you had to pay. There was nothing for free, not nothing for free. So you had to pay for it.
I only had to pay for daycare up until they went into kindergarten, and then the schools offer after school. And as I said, it was inexpensive back then. It was barely nothing. So I didn't mind paying it. So
paying rent to get them kids.
I can't imagine. I don't know what these kids is paying now, but I believe I know they're definitely rent.
21 years ago, I was paying $150 a week. I can imagine.
Oh, it's in the thousands a month. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because it was getting up there with my two little ones. So that's Absolutely. It's definitely in the thousands. But yeah, the kids are expensive. So that goes back to the work-life balance. So you got to work to pay for these. Exactly. You got to bring in some income.
You got to be on your game.
Shoot, these kids. You know what I'm saying? These kids is fucking expensive.
See, this is why I feel what I feel, because with everything that I've done, for my kids to one time tell me, oh, you didn't do this and no, you didn't do that. That's why I'm a firm believer in fuck them kids.
They got short-term memory. Don't
exactly.
Sometimes they got short-term memory. But so knowing what we know today and where we're at in our lives today, because kids are grown.
Yep.
We're still grinding. What are you doing today to try? And it's probably go back to my same question, like leveraging resources. But what things additionally are you doing that you're finding helpful to gain back?
Right now, I haven't really been doing anything. I mean, with how I've been feeling the past few months, Raven has been a ray of sunshine for me. So I enjoy the fact that I'm a dog mom now. So she gives me some type of purposes into wanting to put, and it is. She's very soothing for me.
Maybe. Some kind of therapy.
You take some, not your person, but
it's like therapeutic.
Yeah.
And my niece will look at me sometimes because I'm talking to her and she's like, she can't understand. Yeah, she does. They do.
And they the only ones who listen to you.
And they can't yell back.
But they can talkers. They can start talking. But I think pets have an innate ability to understand emotion. The smart pets, because there's some dumb dogs and cats out there. But why y'all laughing?
No, true. Because some seen it.
Yes.
So, but I think they do have an innate ability to understand emotions, and when they tap into when something's wrong with you or you're feeling down, you're excited. They have it. Cats too. They definitely have an ability to like really tap in and help. So I can see where that can be therapeutic for sure. But so I'm trying to just draw the parallels between what's your answer and her question. So I guess the answer is like more therapeutic, like she's spending time
quality time, not just with herself, but you have, Raven with you, but it's just some, I guess, quality time with yourself and the thing that with the one thing that's making you happy right now.
It isn't nothing really right now.
What about you?
Definitely leveraging my calendar. I'm definitely keeping a to-do list and checking things off. Understanding with a clear understanding that everything is not going to get done on that day that you put it on that list. So I stopped beating myself up about that. Definitely leveraging whatever resources I can. Learning to ask for help more.
Okay.
I need somebody to go somewhere and do something for me,
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask them, I'll pick something up. I'll ask them if it's something that can't be delivered or ordered. I'll ask, and getting more sleep for sure. I'm prioritizing my sleep. Like I get myself together at a certain hour and
wind it down.
And my phone goes on back stir.
Good.
Because I'm not answering the phone. I may scroll a little bit
but then you got to cut it off because
here's what happened. The phone actually goes black and gray.
Okay,
so you don't want to scroll black and white, right?
Yeah, right.
This is my little discipline tactic. But yeah, I am definitely not beating myself about a lot of things. Like also, even with work, right? One of my former managers told me, you should always, I used to take my vacation in 1 week here, a couple of days here. He said, you definitely need to take at least 2-week period.
Okay.
The vacation doesn't really happen, believe it or not. You're still trying to come down and press and all that kind of stuff. So take 2 weeks. And if something didn't get done while you were away, it wasn't that important to get done to be done. So don't worry or stress about.
But you don't have too many bosses that do that.
No, this is, I mean, listen, I appreciated her. She gave me a lot of good nuggets, whatever. But that was one that I will take those 2 weeks. I will not answer by email. I'll take care of it and not come back. If it's something urgent, somebody else will take care of it. So I definitely started and we're replaceable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I stopped. I mean, I give my A game, but I don't sit there and stress and worry and kill myself.
It ain't work.
That's beyond my control about work anymore because I'll kill over at that desk. Somebody else's.
That job description will be up soon, baby.
Hello.
They're going to advertise it internally first.
So I stopped worrying and stressing about things that are definitely out of my control. And that's also the things that don't happen within a certain window.
And that's why I'm a firm believer when you go on vacation, don't answer your phone, don't answer emails. And as you said, if they couldn't handle it while it was gone, that means it wasn't that important.
Yeah, I wasn't always like that. I used to, years ago, I would answer, depending on what it is.
I got to change my vacation day because...
No, when I put in my dime, I would put in my time. But if something came up and I had to do stuff, then I would do it. Yeah. But not now. It's like, no, I'm taking my time. And this is because when you think about it, and I didn't think about it years ago when I would be answering an email or two. When you think about it, vacation is part of your compensation package.
Absolutely.
Yes. Right? So it may not be financially compensating you. Actually, it is because you're getting paid for that day.
Yeah.
For the time that you're out.
Right.
But it's like we don't think about it because we don't see the money. We don't see the dollars. But it's part of your package. So it's like, no, I'm going to take my time and that's that. You know, so.
And no one ever said those things to you, right? All you talking about, this is the number, this is dollars you're getting paid.
Yeah, you didn't think about it from that.
It's
a package,
whatever,
yeah.
You know, until they started changing the healthcare.
Yeah.
Then they started spewing that stuff. Like, oh, this is part of your compensation. I'm going to give you a whole compensation statement.
Oh, yeah.
It shows you what you actually really make.
Whether you see what they're saying it's costing them.
Yeah.
But
so definitely.
I think when it boils down to it, I guess in closing, like from my vantage point, and not just to reiterate what I said earlier, I personally don't think that there is a balance. There's always going to be a give and take, and it's never going to be 50-50. So you're always going to sacrifice something.
Just got to be okay with what
you just got to. You hit it right on the head. So that's my takeaway. Just in closing, I don't know, you guys.
No, I agree. It's definitely never be 50-50. It's just like in a relationship. You don't come to a relationship at 50-50, right? You come with
don't let these young kids tell you that now, child. That's a whole nother thing. You know, you got don't. All
right.
You're starting the war here.
Today. Something's getting sacrificed. Be okay with what you're sacrificing. And don't beat yourself up about it because if it was really that important or it was really meant to be, it'll happen and it will be.
Yes.
That's it. That's all.
That's it.
That's
all.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers, ladies.
Yeah, so whatever kind of work-life balance you guys out there making for yourselves.
Do something.
Huh?
Do something.
Do something.
Don't be a lazy. I'm joking. You can live a soft life. It's okay.
Okay.
What is